Ray with Groove Entertainment Technologies, and today we're gonna show you how to install or replace a DIRECTV receiver. Now, in order to add a receiver, we're gonna need a live coax outlet, and you'll also need the following. I have a coax cable, I have an IR pass-through. Here we have an IR blaster, not commonly used. I have an IR target. I have a 10-pin component cable here. We have a composite cable. We have our HDMI. And we have a power brick here. Okay. So the first thing we'll look at is the coax barrel or the wall plate here. I have my little makeshift wall plate here. Now this will be actually attached to your wall, but first we're going to get our coax cable nice and finger tight on this barrel. No need to over tighten this. Finger tight is just about right. Now we'll look back at the back of our TV and see what sort of inputs we have. I have a fairly limited TV, so I have an HDMI input and I have options for component and composite as well. Now HDMI is going to be the best input for you to use here. It'll give you the best picture quality, and it tends to have an input that will boot up once you turn the device on. So here I'll have the HDMI cable straight to the back of the TV and also right into the back of the receiver. Now, if you don't have an HDMI cable or HDMI input, we can talk about using a component or composite cable. So we'll talk about the component here. We have a 10-pin on one end, which goes into the back of the receiver. And we have all of these colors that will coincide with our TV on the back here. So we'll match all of these colors up. We have green to green. We have blue to blue, red to red, white to white, and lastly, red to red. If you only have composite inputs, or otherwise known as RCA inputs, yellow, red, and white cable here, be sure to watch our video on how to have our DIRECTV receiver broadcast in standard definition. So again, that'll plug in the same exact way, match these colors up to the receiver as well as the back of the TV. Now we have an optional mounting bracket here. We can use this to mount the receiver to a wall or maybe furniture. Now this is nice to use if you want to hide your receiver and hide your cables. And we'll snap it in just like that. And the important thing here is our red reset button. So no matter where you mount it on your wall or your furniture, make sure you can access that red reset button as well as our card. Now, lastly, we'll talk about getting power to our receiver. Pretty simple. We have our DC outlet connection here, straight into the wall, and we'll take our power cable and just plug it right into the back of the receiver. Now make sure that green light is above our power cable here, letting us know that we do have power going to this receiver. And last but not least, we'll give signal to our receiver here. Now it's very important that we're coming straight from the wall and going to the back of the receiver, making sure we're finger tight on both ends, nothing too tight, just about right. Let's see here. Now we'll talk about some stipulations here. This is a IR pass-through cable. Now we use this cable when the receiver's hidden, and it uses an MPI port connection here. Kind of looks like an old phone jack. Now if we're looking at the back of our television and we don't notice a connection that looks like this or is actually labeled MPI, you do not have a compatible television for this cable. Now our alternative here is an IR target. And we'll use this also when we're hiding the receiver, maybe mounting the receiver behind some furniture. And this is what's going to give our remote something to talk to, something to respond with. So we'll look on the back of our receiver, and we have a port here that's labeled external remote. It looks like an auxiliary connection, and we'll just attach that there. And we have an adhesive here. Mount the target maybe just below onto the mount of the TV, or you can also mount it and just attach it to some furniture, something like that maybe. But basically the goal here is to have our remote look at this target so that they can communicate to each other. Now you know all the different types of connections here. This last one that we'll talk about is an IR blaster, and we have a very specific receiver here. It's an HR24 or a DVR recording device. It's only compatible with this. We won't talk much about this because they're not commonly used, but it is an option if we're hiding that DVR. Once we get all of these cables connected and everything all connected to the television as well, you might see an error code that'll populate on the television. Now that's going to say 721, 722, or maybe 726. In any instance where you see these codes, please call DIRECTV at 1-877-389-5372, and they'll be able to help you get your new box activated and ready to go. They'll ask for a few things first. They might ask for an account number. If you do not have that account number, what you'll do is take out your access card here on the side, flip it over, and we have a barcode with a 12-digit number just above the barcode. You go ahead and give DIRECTV that 12-digit number, and they'll be able to access the account, get your receiver activated, and ready for you to start watching DIRECTV. That concludes this training video. Feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And as always, if you need additional support, please call us at 801-994-3642. You can email us at support@getgroovin.com or send us a chat on our website.